Ah, it's a mystery. What enticing, what intriguing words. And mystery is everywhere there's curiosity and imagination. Welcome, curious listeners who imagine, what if? And in a cozy mystery, it's not a detective or highly trained government agent or PI who solves the crime. It's a regular person with his or her unique personality and skills who puzzles it out along with the reader. We're a quartet of cozy mystery authors. Michael Erdahl, Winter Takes All, Susan McCormick, The Fog Ladies, Linda Hope Lee, Murder Between the Pages, and other books as well. And me, I'm Wendy Kendall with my mystery Cat Out of the Bag. That's Cat with a K for Katherine Watson, my amateur sleuth. You might say in our quartet that I play purse percussion. All my life, I've always loved purses of all kinds of designs. I even have my own collection from vintage to today, and I can't wait for what tomorrow will bring. I visited in awe the SA Purse Museum in Little Rock, Arkansas. Google it, it's amazing. Katherine Watson, my amateur sleuth, is a celebrated international purse designer of LA's Rodeo Drive who finds herself stuck in Bayside, Washington. She opens a purse museum. When you meet her in Chapter 1, all that glitters is not a Judith Lieber. Katherine Watson slumped in a heap, littering the side of the road, all branding for her prestigious purse and fashion company K. Watson Designs International, abandoned. She struggled to sit up in her muddied Kevin Hall designer gown. The strategically seductive slit up the left leg of her gown was now in tatters, and a hole was growing under her left arm. Her once upswept auburn hair hung flat like the dense suede fringe on a poorly made Coach knockoff. A teenager walked by her, talking on his cell phone. I'm not kidding. The mayor's dead. She was hanged. And that's the beginning of Cat Out of the Bag. Linda, tell us about your cozy.
Hello, I'm Linda Hope Lee, and my amateur sleuth, Nina Foster, is introduced in the series' first book, Murder Between the Pages. Nina is 30 years old and single. She's managing librarian of the Seaview Public Library in Richmond, Washington, a small town north of Seattle. She's a big fan of mystery novels, but until now, she's never been involved in solving a real-life mystery. So, how does she become involved? And why? Well, it all started at a book launch party for Nina's good friend, romance writer Zelma Duke. During the evening, Nina overhears a heated argument between Zelma and another good friend, bookstore owner Wildine Bergman. The two arrange to meet later that evening at Wildine's bookstore. The following morning on her way to work, Nina stops in Wildine's store to pick up a book. Instead of the cheery greeting she expected, to her horror, she finds Wildine lying on the floor of her office. Near Wildine's outstretched hand lay a glass horse figurine, one of her prized antique bookends. Blood covered the horse's uplifted hooves. The palm of her hand was a mottled purple, while the back was pale white. Most certainly, Wildine Bergman was dead. So, Mike, let's hear about yours.
Hi everyone, I write under the name M.L. Erdahl, and my main character, Crystal Rainey, jumps off the corporate hamster wheel and into her dream job of being a wilderness guide. It's a bold move for a normally cautious person, but Crystal is immediately fulfilled with her new life. But when a man is found dead on her first snowshoe hike, her guiding is placed on hiatus until the murder is solved. Desperate to hold on to this new perfect world she's just discovered, she takes it upon herself to solve the murder. I chose Crystal as my character for several reasons. She embodies what many people go through, feeling trapped in the rut of life. However, she makes the leap to happiness over a safe and mundane routine. Discovering her future leads to a much more adventurous and promising place. Additionally, I thought it'd be fun to write a character whose profession was outside of the box for cozy mystery sleuths. There are plenty of books with bakers and chefs, but I felt like Wilderness Guide was a unique and exciting profession that would lead to lots of fun ways for characters to be murdered, as well as ever-changing and interesting settings. Crystal's splash of daring, courage, and persistence serve her well as she adapts to becoming a sleuth. However, these same qualities often lead to her getting in over her head, such as in this scene. Connor's radio crackled with Sam's voice. "We found the missing man from your group, Connor. He's at the bottom of a cliff. I'm sorry to say the search and rescue operation has become a search and recover." Connor paled at the news. "What does search and recover mean?" Crystal asked. "It means he's dead." Susan, can you tell me about your cozy mystery?
Thanks, Michael. I'm Susan McCormick, and I loved creating characters for the Fog Ladies. My cozy is set in an elegant apartment building in San Francisco. Mrs. Bridge falls off a stool cleaning bugs out of her kitchen light. Mrs. Tallwin slips on bubbles in the bath and drowns. The Pacific Heights building is turning over tenants faster than the fog rolls in on a cool San Francisco evening. There are several main characters. Young, overworked, overtired, overstressed medical intern Sarah James has no time for sleuthing. Her elderly neighbors, the spunky Fog Ladies, have nothing but time. Sarah assumes the deaths are the natural consequence of growing old. The Fog Ladies assume murder. The name of the book and the idea for the group of women came to me instantly, before anything else about the story. The Fog Ladies' husbands have died, and they come together to work on projects and to help people in need. But what they really need is each other. They call themselves the Fog Ladies because in San Francisco, early morning fog boarding off by midday is the weather every day, day after day. So with the Fog Ladies, you can count on them like you can count on San Francisco early morning fog. I think older characters are underrepresented in books, and I wanted to give them a voice. The Fog Ladies are a conglomeration of my experiences and my imagination, combined together to make a group of spunky senior sleuths. I've always enjoyed getting to know older women, like years ago when I sat with my mom in the dining room at her retirement community, or as a doctor with my many elderly patients. I created the Fog Ladies with all their quirks and idiosyncrasies, and their close women friendships form the crux of the book. Now, I created these characters, but one of the wonderful things about writing is the magic that happens when my fingers hit the keys. One of my characters, Enid Carmichael, discovers Starbucks lattes at the ripe old age of 80. She loves the bitterness, the froth. I wrote that. Then she craved more, and the next thing I knew, Mrs. Carmichael was stealing Starbucks coupons from her neighbors' newspapers to feed her addiction. I never intended for her to steal. She did that, not me. That's the wonder and the beauty of characters. Next time we'll talk about setting. Settings are very important in cozies. Settings create mood and mystery. Today we introduced some of our characters. The setting is often a character in itself. Join us next time and learn about setting. Just wait until you hear where all of these mysteries take place. Tune in next time, and if you subscribe, you'll never miss an episode of the Cozy Mystery Quartet.